And we're back. Hello, and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 46, I believe. Yes, we're on 46. Wow, we're almost at 50. Jeez. And today it is Thursday, aka the Vampire Killer Workout. I am feeling pretty good. Body is feeling great. Nothing aches or pains or nothing like that. So I'm very excited about that. I am forward to it. I feel very good today. I'm feeling very energized. I feel very focused. Mentally, physically. Yesterday was a little bit of a far cry from this, but we'll talk about that in a second. But first, everything is going good so far. Today's been a good day already. Can't wait. Got some cream cheese on my shirt, so that's kind of annoying, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. It's just gonna look like toothpaste, because of course, that's how it is. But anyway, so today's topic, I wanted to talk about something that happened yesterday that I did, which I just decided it's time. Screw it. This was slightly inspired by a Emp Lemon video, which I had watched recently, where he's driving in his car doing what is essentially this, but just like a long form video of him talking or ranting, depending on how you would like to see it, where he discusses logging off of Twitter. And I was like, I think it's time. I think this is the sign. So then I went on and I was like, all right, it's time to say goodbye. So I logged off of Twitter for the first time in April of last year, because April of last year I did a whole social media fast, basically, where I logged off of social media for an entire month. I just wanted to see what it was like. The only social media that I had logged in was YouTube. That was the only thing I considered not social media, because you can watch videos on it, but it is social media slowly but surely. And even now, I still think YouTube is still like, it is social media, but it's not the same. It's not as similar as to like a Twitter and or Instagram or a Facebook, if you're still a Facebook user, because, you know, it's harder to do the infinite doom scroll. It was harder to do the infinite doom scroll on something like YouTube versus Instagram or Twitter. Twitter specifically, you could do a doom scroll like there's no tomorrow. The only issue now is with YouTube, you can do doom scrolling because of the shorts page, as well as you can do doom scrolling because they have posts now. They have like a section just full of posts and stuff that people make. So you can continue the doom scrolling. It's something to be cognizant about, because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. This entire episode is just going to be about logging off social media. I think right now I've logged off of Twitter. Twitter was the first big one. Twitter, I would spend hours and hours and hours on, just like looking at random shit most of the time. Also, this was also inspired partly because of that NH video that I watched the other day, the one he released, the War Against Comfort, I believe, something along those lines. I'll probably put a thumbnail up or something. But that video also inspired this thought process as well, where I'm like, all right, I need to change what I absorb into me. I think that's the main reason why I'm trying to log off of everything. I am going to still stay on Instagram. I have two Instagrams. I have my personal one and then the one for this account. I'm going to log off the personal one and just stay on the one for this account and try to actually, you know, I hate using this term, but grow the brand. Ugh. But yeah, do that type of stuff instead of like, you know, faffing about and just like watching crap that doesn't really matter at the end, you know? So I think that'll be the next thing to log off. And then after that, any other social media that I still occasionally go on, I'm just like, all right, I just got to drop. It is the logging off part that I'm like, oh man, because right now, yesterday, I was feeling it hard. I was feeling the withdrawal hard and heavy. I was just like, I don't know, it might have been like the lack of dopamine. I like the little, like, I don't know what exactly it was, but I just felt like terrible. Like it was just like, I didn't know what was happening. Up was down, left was right, kind of. What's the point of doing any of this? I was like kind of like in a woe is me type mood, and I did not like that at all. I figured it was just because probably realistically there was no dopamine spike from going onto these websites, hitting Twitter and then seeing login screen. I'm like, I gotta log in. But also like the effect that I would probably do that regularly and also like check it on my phone and stuff for some reason, like going back and forth, like as if it would change in the last 30 seconds. So I was like, okay, yeah, no, this is gonna take some time to get adjusting, to get used to not being on there anymore. I think going cold turkey is also the better bet than going like limited time, because I did that for a while where I had a limited time on social media, but then I realized that I would just open up the desktop and then there you go. I'd just immediately go go to unlimited amounts of time, which not good. So I just said, fuck it, just go cold turkey, log off, and then just that's it. Because the process of logging on is already half a hassle enough, and I just don't feel like doing it every single time. So that helps a little bit. But the main reason why I want to just do this is because it's mostly because, one, I do need to control what I absorb in my life. So that might be something that is necessary to curate. But two, also, I realized that most of these websites are really just like, you're either getting like extreme examples of things. So you either get super pissed off or you super agree with something. And I don't know, I just dislike that in its entirety. I get why, because you're more likely to say something on either side, but I'm like, all right, I just want like information or like just general knowledge of things. I don't know what exactly I even want from social media. Pictures of Dragon Ball Z, you know what I mean? Like things like that. But like also at the same time, I'm like, do I need to see these things every day? Do I need to see Berserk memes every day? You know what I mean? Like, do I really need this? So it's just the figuring that entire thing out, and maybe later on another day, just curating it. But for now, I'm just trying to say whatever to it, and then I'm trying to stay away from it just in its entirety so I can do like a detox and then just maybe get back into it. But I know that it's going to be a bad time when I get back into it, because I think as well, another issue with it is that I know I use too much of my time. It gets distracted via that, when in reality, I could work on stuff like this channel and things like that, and it would be much more beneficial to myself, but also just to my future self. So I need to do that instead of wasting time on a website where I'll get some enjoyment for a little bit and then wondering where the 2.5 hours of my life went. You know, it is what it is. I do also have to be careful about YouTube. It's not like YouTube doesn't have its own thing. The shorts rabbit hole is a hard and strong rabbit hole that you can go down, but at the same time, as long as I can check that, that's the main thing. And when it's just one social media platform that you have to deal with, really, then you're fine. Instagram is somewhat of an issue, but not really. Instagram doesn't interest me as much. It's not the boat I'm in at all. I kind of like, I'll go on it, but I don't really care to go on it that much. Like the most I'll be on Instagram is like 20 minutes max. After that, it just gets kind of repetitive, and or I don't follow enough people, so I don't really see anything new. So it's just whatever. So that one I'm not really worried about, but I am still gonna log off of my personal one. I don't want to waste any more time watching shit that really doesn't matter anyway, and I'd rather grow the brand. But yes, so with that being said, I will see you on the inside. All right, so on this day we start off with overhead press. It was pretty decent. I don't know why the colors look a little different here. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the angle, who knows. Honestly, who cares except for me. But anyways, so it's been 24 hours since I've logged off of everything, and I still feel very weird about a lot of the stuff. I don't know how else to feel except for like there's like something still missing, a part of my like daily routine, even though I've gotten actually more done since logging off and stuff. So I don't understand what it is. I don't know what it is about it. It's like, I guess social media was like ingrained in my head a little too much. Getting used to that. Actually talk about it late in this episode, but basically I have that like habitual like typing TW to go to Twitter or something like that, or like opening up the Chrome browser on my phone, because that's where I would look on at Twitter. And then like Instagram is Instagram. Still, like, I just don't like Instagram that much, honestly. It's just whatever. It's not my thing, honestly. The last time I did something like this was last April. I just decided, all right, for an entire month I'm gonna log up all socials. That month was interesting. I don't even remember what I did for that month, but I remember after a while it just kind of felt like I had gotten used to it after a while. But then I remember like that first, like, I think it was the first week of May where I was just on it. It was like as if like I had like not seen the light of day, so I was just like, oh my god, let me see what I missed. And then after a while I realized I didn't really miss much, honestly. I missed stuff that doesn't even matter, honestly. So I was kind of like, oh, okay. So I don't know, it was an experience. Also doing these neck curls a little differently, because I actually figured out that if I do it like this, I won't hit the pad anymore. So it's a lot better like this, way better like this. So that is something. Yeah, I mean, the last time I did something like this, it went well. I don't know how it's going to be like this time, because last time it was straight up, I didn't go on any of the websites at all, so that was that for that bit of time. But now I think it's going to be a little bit more of a like balanced approach, or like I might do something where it's like I visit the website, like let's say Twitter or Instagram, for like an hour on like a Sunday or something, like at the end of the week, do it just like as a little bit of a catch up, you know, and then just, all right, then log out and then just keep it going. I want to just keep working on stuff for the channel, so I'm
gonna focus mostly on that and focus on commenting and doing other things on other people's channels, because that's what you're supposed to do and stuff. Whatnot. It's like, there are certain things you're gonna have to do in order to actually grow and all that other stuff, but just like the swallowing the pill to do these things is the hardest part. Love this angle for these V-bar tricep pull downs. It looks amazing, by the way. But it's just something that's a little different. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I would just waste so much time on these platforms. I mean, yeah, like I would say like at least like an hour or two cumulatively a day on Twitter per se, and then like maybe like 20-30 minutes on Instagram. Instagram I don't really count, but YouTube is also starting to become a problem. That shorts button is a killer. It is a time killer. And that is no bueno for a lot of different reasons. So I gotta be careful about that type of stuff, honestly. It is something about these social media platforms. Obviously, they are meant to try to keep you on there for as long as humanly possible, which sucks because then once they know kind of what you like, they'll just try to keep you there forever. Even YouTube is like that, and that's also slightly annoying about it too. It's like they use our psychology against us in order to make it so we stay on there forever and give them advertisement dollars and stuff. It's disgusting, but you know, it is part of the modern day society, which is super annoying, but it is what it is. I don't know how long this system is going to last, honestly. I don't know if one day I'm just going to say it. I will probably end up saying what if I do just go back to it regularly logged in and stuff like that. I think there is something to be said about having it completely logged off, or like deleting the app or anything like that, doing the extra steps to get rid of all that stuff so that you have to go through extra steps in order to get back into it. Makes it a lot less enticing to actually do it. And doing it cold turkey, I feel like, is the best way to do it. I think easing off isn't necessarily an option when it comes to these types of things, particularly for social media, just because easing off, it's like you get that slow dopamine drip, and it's just, you're just going to want more and more, so you're just going to like circumvent it easily. To speak on these rows real quick, I just want to say that this bench was broken, so it was like leaning towards one side, which made these super annoying. So I did not like that. I need to not use this bench because it was broken. Like I had to hold on to the weight before it rolled off, which was annoying. Would have happened the second week in a row. But anyway. Overall, I think that this was going to be a very interesting learning lesson, I guess. I don't know about like my social media habits and consuming habits in general. I like the idea of being able to use this time wisely, or at least better purpose it so that way I can actually do more productive things. But that's also another thing that I have to start doing more productive things. I got to make sure that I'm not just wasting this time on some other new thing that doesn't really help me or affect me in a good way. So I need to stay on top of that more than anything else. And even though I'm not on the social medias anymore, I'm more using the time for something that's useful, or like, you know, not just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. Productive. There you go. That was what I was trying to think of that entire time. I was like, what's the term I'm looking for? Productive in a good and healthy manner. Jeez. Might read a book in between sets.
And we're back. Hello and welcome back to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed, none. Exercises skipped. Farmer's carries. Yes, I actually skipped them today because one, I want to get home, but two, the bench that I would normally use, that I was using for dumbbell rows, couldn't put any dumbbells on it. It was kind of annoying. So I just said screw it, and I have to get home anyway right now. Besides that, that guy is walking a dog with no leash. Holy shit. Well, okay. But besides that, today's exercise, pretty good, feel great. Another vampire killer in the books. Feeling mighty fine. Upper body is just, everything's cooked. Done. Game over. I love it though. I'm feeling good. I'm excited to eat right now after this. Tomorrow's episode is probably going to be about what I'm going to do tomorrow at night. So that'll be an interesting thing. When we get there, we'll get there. But for today, let's go back a little bit and talk about social media. There were moments in the workout today where I went on my phone and I was like, all right, Twitter, and then nothing. And I was like, oh yeah, I have to log in. And then I was like, all right. And then I was like, Instagram. And then I was like, oh, it's early, so nobody's up or doing anything. Okay. And then I just sat there and I was like, oh, okay, this is nice. This is all right. It's not too bad. Kind of the muscle memory of trying to do stuff in between sets is a little cooked in. Maybe I need to find something else to do. Maybe I should read something, or maybe like put a manga on my phone, or like a comic book on my phone so I can read it in between sets or something like that. Oh my God, maybe even a book. Who knows? I do have a couple of books on my phone. I could do that, but we'll have to wait and see. Why is there always traffic here? What the hell? But anyway, so that is something to get used to. I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know what's going to be like the protocol. Maybe I log in during the weekends to kind of chill out, but also I need to keep working. So I think that it's going to be maybe like do like a check-in once a week or something like that. Something where it's like, all right, I'll see what's going on and then log out. I think today will be the log out of Instagram, and then Discord is another one, but I don't really necessarily use Discord that much besides just talking to like literally 3 people. That's it. So that one I don't necessarily really count. I'd have to go out of my way to go to new Discords anyways. That's just more of a just talking platform at this point. It's social media, but in the barest bones of just talking to people. You know, if no one responds, nothing's really happening. So it is what it is. But with that being said, that might be shut down in the near future, but I don't know about that one. That one is like up in the air. But all the other ones, if they aren't serving a purpose for me anymore, I'm gonna have to close it out. Maybe do it like an hour at the end of a day. You know what I mean? Just like check it for like 10 minutes and then call it, because I need to curate what I want to see when I open these things up, and then make sure that I'm only absorbing the things that I want to absorb and not the things that are just either to try to get me into these extreme emotions, either one way or the other, like love it or hate it. Kind of annoying. So I have to check myself and make sure that I'm not getting into the extremes of things. I think I'll end it off with this because it reminds me of something that Seneca said once, and particularly I believe it's in Letters from a Stoic, I believe, that book. He said something along the lines of, whenever you go out into the world from your home, whenever you leave your home, you are influenced by your entire world. Even the moment that you step outside, you're influenced. So be prepared to have society be reflected upon you. So don't be naive to the influence that things on the outside world have on you, and be prepared, because you never know what could be influencing you. Everything has an influence, so be aware of that. So I think I'll leave it off on that, and tell me what you think in the comments below. Talk to me about anything about social media in general. Who still uses Facebook is the other question besides boomers and older people. But besides that, tell me what you think about social media in general. Personally, I think that it can be good, but also it sucks because nowadays without social media there's no real money to be made, really, unless you get like typical jobs, but even those are starting to go by the wayside. I mean, AI is starting to replace a bunch of shit, so that's a whole discussion for a different day. But with that being said, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you. Please leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I will be back on tomorrow with another episode. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.